What's good, homies, and welcome to our second series on Rugby League Live 4. As most of you already know, I did hold a poll for our next rebuild series team, and by popular demand, as you can see here, the South Sydney Rabbitohs had 55% of the votes out of the three teams. Alright, so as you can see here, for our international team, it was a choice between Tonga, Samoa and PNG. They were the most popular, and since I did Samoa and Rugby League Live 3, and PNG, but I technically didn't play with PNG, I decided to go with Tonga for this season, and next season I might go with either PNG, Samoa or Fiji. As for the state of origin, I decided to go with Queensland once again, but this time right off the bat, I'll be playing with the young Queensland squad. You won't be seeing any Queensland veterans in there. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's jump right into the action of the Auckland Nines here. A bit of fun before the season actually starts. It's always a bit of fun when you're playing in the Nines. With all that space on the field, it's a great opportunity to try and pull off some of those set plays. So the Rabbitohs, on paper, actually have a fairly solid team, especially their forward pack. I was actually a little excited to get my hands on this team and potentially bring another premiership to Redfern and bring them back to that 2014 form that they had not too long ago. Also, I was thinking of playing with updated team lists and player stats, but someone had told me that there is a glitch that happens in career mode when you play with customized players, so for now we'll just play with the default rosters and they're not really outdated anyway. Alright, as we jump into the action, playing against the Raiders in our first pool game, and it's going to be a nice little break here by Blake Austin, who eventually gets pulled down inside or outside their 40. As they go out the back here to Caesar, he gets rid of it early there in the third tackle. As we run back to regather with Greg Inglis here, fends off one defender and he's going to fend off another and just races away for a length of the field, try to open things up here in the Auckland Nines, a bonus zone try at that. As we get the 5-pointer here with Greg Inglis, pretty much a vintage Greg Inglis putting the palm of death on defenders. As we take the first conversion here with Adam Reynolds from right in front, that try definitely didn't feel like I was playing on veteran difficulty. I was actually contemplating on whether I should bump it up to legend, but then I went back to check our win-loss record in our Tigers season, and we finished the season with 14 wins and 9 losses, almost double-digit losses, so I don't think I'm ready to play on legend just yet. As we jump back into the action with the Raiders, and it's going to be Blake Austin this time getting rid of it early, kicking on the third, an almost identical kick to Caesar, as we return it with Inglis, and he's actually going to get driven back into the in-goal area. It ends up being a pretty decent kick in the end, as they return it off the drop kick, with Junior Paulo here who gets out of one defender's tackle, and he's going to get pulled down 25 meters out. With 3 tackles left, they go to Austin. Austin links up with Whiten gets it out to Kotrick, and Kotrick gets pulled down around 12 meters out from the try line. On the second, they go to Caesar. Caesar links up with Papali, and Papali gets pulled down inside the 10. Third tackle, they go short to Whitehead. I was expecting a pass and the line just opens up for Whitehead to stroll through. Ends up scoring a bonus zone try, as Caesar converts it from right in front and ties the game up, locked at 7 apiece. Alright, so we're in the final minute of the half, back in attack. As Goodwin sends it to Burgess, he links up with Walker. Drifting across field, we hand it off to Angus Crichton, another player that I'm excited to get my hands on in this series. And we're going to get pulled down 5 meters out, back with Walker as he sends it to Gray, and he gets dragged to the turf by 2 defenders. 5 meters out, last tackle. We pass to Goodwin running onto it, and Goodwin gets absolutely smashed, and that wraps up all the action in the first half. It's been an average game so far, at least we managed to score a try. As we jump back into the second half, we'll be on attack 4 minutes into the half. As we start to play around with the shapes here, a nice little short ball to Sutton, but he's going to get wrapped up just inside our half of the field. Second tackle, we go to Gray. Gray links up with Cody Walker bursting through the gap. We try and beat Whiten on the outside, but he is closing the gap nicely as we pop a chip over the top. A perfectly placed chip. We regather and score in the corner. Cody Walker just lights the field on fire here as we take another look on the replay. As you can see here, a beautiful short ball puts him through. I thought we could get around him, but as you can see, Whiten had us covered, so our last option was to chip over the top, and thankfully it didn't rebound off Whiten or anything like that. Back with Reynolds here to take the shot at goal from pretty much on the sideline, and as you can see, we mistime it. The meter starts flashing red, and we obviously missed the kick. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day we do pick up the W in our first game of the Auckland Nines, day 1, game 1, but it doesn't end there. Coming up next is game 2. Alright, so our second match of the day will be against the Sydney Roosters, pretty much your average 2017 lineup for the Auckland Nines at least. I didn't even bother to show our lineup because no changes were made or anything like that, so we're just going to jump right into the action here. Alright, so we're a minute in with the Roosters in attack. As they get rid of it on the last, 4th and last. We're going to return it here with Crichton. Not too sure why he's on the wing though. He has a number 3 on his back, so I assumed he'd be one in from the sideline, but I guess I was wrong in judging that, and I don't even address it during the whole tournament as we send it to Goodwin here, looking for an inside ball play, but we end up dropping it short on the outside to Burgess, who fends off one, gets an offload away to Johnston, and it's Johnston down the sideline who gets another offload away. This time it's to GI, who powers through one defender, and he finally gets pulled down inside the 10. Some classic ad-lib Nines type of footy being played here as we try and drop a short ball back on the inside, but it's well read by the defense. 4th and last here. Adam Reynolds shifts it to the left, and it's going to be Walker who sends it to Burgess, who initially started the break, and we end up scoring the first points of the game. Fairly simple in the end, but the lead-up play was pretty exciting as we missed the conversion of Reynolds, fading away to the right. Alright, so we're about 6.5 minutes into the game. The Roosters yet to score as Walker, with a risky run there, running straight into Dylan Napa. He gets put down 15 meters out from our line. Back to Goodwin, slicing through the line, and he's going to get pulled down just inside our 40 now. Making some pretty decent meters. We're going to look for a 40-20 with the wind behind us, and it helps guide the ball into touch. So after a pretty slick kick, we got the tap here on the 10 as we go short to Walker, out the back to Inglis, and he's going to get pulled down 5 meters out from their try line. With a decent shape to the right, we try and send it back inside, but doesn't quite work out for us. Second tackle, we go to Goodwin. He tries to link up with Gray to Inglis, and Inglis gets driven backwards in the tackle. On the third this time as we go to Walker to Goodwin, and it's going to be Angus Crichton here with the sidestep. Don't remember if he's this agile in real life, but he's got a wicked sidestep in the game as we score the second try of the match, and we shank another kick away to the right as we head into the break, leading the Chooks 8 points to 0. So much like our first match in the Nines, there's some pretty decent plays coming together. Looking a little bit rusty when we're inside the opposition's 20, but other than that, everything else is pretty solid. Our defense has been okay, and our attack outside the strike zone's been pretty decent as well. As we jump into the second half here, 6 minutes in already, Roosters still at 0, and we're back attacking their line here with a decent shape to the left. We send it to Gray. Gray tries to find Johnston, but Johnston's well marked, and he gets driven back in the tackle. Third tackle, we go to Reynolds looking for a short ball, but the runner overran it there, and it ends up finding Goodwin out wide, who gets wrapped up 5 meters out. 4th and last, I'm trying to figure out what to do, but the ball comes out, so we end up shifting it out wide, and Angus Crichton with the acrobatic dive into the corner, and he scores his second try of the game, and our third as a team, as we take another tough kick here with Reynolds from pretty much out on the sideline once again, and we're unable to bring it back around as we barely miss it away to the right once again. Alright, so after kicking it dead off the kickoff, the Roosters find touch, and off the tap, it's going to be Daniel Tupou who breaks the line. Nice footwork on display as he gets stopped with an ankle tap by Greg Inglis. They quickly shift it to the left, and they just easily slice through our defense as they finally scored their first try of the game with under a minute remaining in the match. As Michael Gordon takes the shot at goal, and he misses the kick, and just check out the reaction here as he starts to blow up off that miss. It's not like they had a chance anyway, but It's going to be full time here. We pick up our second win in the nines, and that pretty much wraps up all the day one action. Next up will be day 2, our final pool game, and then the finals if we make it that far. Speaking of making it that far, if you made it this far into the video, hit me up in the comments section with the odd squad or nothing, and as always, slap the fuck out of that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you.
She constantly calling my
Later.
Oh, bitch, get up, be gonna go home. Bitch, airplane mode all on my phone. Bitch, switch numbers, even my phone. Shit, this trick stay conning. Flip City, she slick, still on it. Switch whips, wear wig, she saw it.